what Workday has provided us is like we have a Workday standard report is a report. Workday has provided us a report called Workday Standard Report. With this report, this is actually a report in itself. What this report will normally does, it will bring all the report categories which we want to change or which we want to work on and to see like what are the data reports already built by Workday and which we can reuse it or we can modify it. Okay, so the report name is Workday Standard Reports, and you can enter the category, what type of category you wanted to search. For example, we wanted to search worker data or worker data history, right?
Mm-hmm.
Worker data or the worker data history are normally two objects. Try to search both together. You know that these are the selectable items. You can select more than one and you click OK. And with this, we have all the reports which are built by Workday on these data sources, Workday data and Workday data sources. Then there are two types. If we go with the types, there are two types of reports, report writer
Mm-hmm.
and espresso. Okay. Any report which is developed in the report writer, we can copy them. We can modify, not modify the direct report, but we can copy them and we can change it for our own purpose. But those who are developed in Espresso, we can't do anything. We can just reuse it. Okay. Okay. This is the combo box. Like this is the selection, change selection buttons. If you click here, you can go back to the main page here, and you can change your selections and click OK again, and it will refresh the data which you are requiring. Okay. For example, if you wanted to change to the uh, uh, any other report or any other criteria, it does not fulfill your what you are looking for, it will help you to change it. Now, these are the name of reports. For example, find worker. I'll copy it. I'll open a duplicate screen. And this is the report. Once I click here,
Okay.
it will open this window and this will bring all the information for me. Okay. This is a search report. If you go here again, you see that this is a report writer and the domain is a search report, find report, right? Now, if I wanted to modify it, this report, this is called dots related actions. If you go on these three related actions, you can see it's a standard report and you can copy it. We cannot modify the standard report, but we can copy and change according to our need. If I copy it, I click OK. And you can add all the new fields if you want, or you can remove the fields, search result fields. You can add the filters, all the things you can copy it, right? We are going to discuss these details in details, like when we are actually creating our new report. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, for now, I just cancel it for time being. Similarly, there are reports which you can copy and you can use it. Let's go with the find worker by skill category report. You can copy it. You can search here the name, paste it. And if I click here, it asks me something like, let's say, I'll just say GMS and click OK. This is like the criteria. But if you see, I cannot have any related button through which I can copy it, right? This is an Expressor report. So Expressor report cannot be copied. They can just used. Whereas a report writer, we can copy it. Okay. And there are quite a lot reports which are available for worker data or worker data history reports. Okay. Any question on a standard report?
Uh, well, not really.
Yeah, you can
I,
copy
oh,
standard report.
yeah.
That's the only thing which you need to see. And if you don't want to copy it from here, like with the three buttons, you can also use a task called copy standard task, copy standard report to the custom report. And once you click here, you can enter the name of report which you wanted to copy, and it will be copied. For example, worker. I'll select any of the report item and any of the report, let's say worker allocation, and I click OK, and this will be automatically copy the report for me. So there are two ways. Either you find the report and you click on the related action and copy, or you can copy using the copy standard report to the custom report task. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll just put here on the copy one. Okay, this is not the right report we should look for. This is the when I say this is not a report, right report to look for now, it is a complete report, and this is not for starting that. It would be a slightly complex to start with this. So I'm going to copy with the new higher turnover report, which is little bit easier to understand in the start. By the end of this course, you will be probably able to understand these all reports. Okay, so this plus and minus, these signs are allow you to add anything, any more columns. When you click on the plus sign, it will allow you to add any more column.
Okay.
Okay. If you delete this, it will be removing the column.
What happens if
Okay.
you use the plus sign at the very top
It's
of the
a,
column?
okay. When you click on the plus sign on the top, it will open start the column on the top.
I see.
If you click here, it will be creating a row below this.
Okay.
So wherever you use, it will increase the column below that. Make sense?
Mhm.
These are the orders. Like for example, worker is on the top order, and if you click here with this button, it will take it to the last. And if you take it this, it will take it to the next step.
Mhm.
This is a worker on the next step, and if I click on this one, the supervisory organization go will go at the end. Okay.
Okay.
These are the fields. These are the options we are talking about. Then there are filter tab where you are having a different type of conditions. Then there is a prompt where you can allow a user to enter anything on the runtime. Then the output, like either you wanted to see the graphical output or you wanted to see the text output. And then there is a share, that to whom you wanted to share that report. And advanced is like where we are looking for, either we are going to use this report for the different purposes. For example, if we want it to be a web service enabled, like some web services to be worked on or something like that. Okay. In advanced, there is a also saved parameter. uh, uh, Let me try to use a one more filter report.
Okay.
This is a search report, right? So search
Mhm.
report has a different type of parameters. See that this is a report, is a search report. It does not give you all the tabs which I wanted to show you. Remember the create custom report task where you can create a reports.
Yep.
So I'm just clicking on the create custom report task, and I'm just selecting advanced, and I am going to we'll explain this thing in the next step when we are going inside and selecting the different options and why we are using a different data objects and what are the data sources means. But just now I am going to complete the internal area for when you are going to copy any of the report. So in search, we don't need see the value of a sort, right?
Right.
And we do not see these values. So this is an object. In search, in advanced report, we have an option that we can use a multiple objects. So object is take as a table. There is a one table, which is a primary table, and then there will be a secondary tables. Take an example of that you are an employee and you have a dependents. So dependents are normally stored in a different tables. Like dependent might store in there are simple like there are spouse, there are children's, there are parents. Those are stored in the different tables, and when we are bringing up, the employee will have a one record, whereas the dependent has a multiple records. So that means we have a different objects. We are going to discuss this in more detail when we are creating our first advanced report. Then with each address you wanted to bring the fields. If you remember that in the simple report we just have a fields, we don't have an object, whereas in advanced we have an object and then fields. In the field, we can do the column headings. Like if you wanted to, like if there's a legal name and you wanted to write something above the legal name, you can do it from here. You can sort. In the sort filter, you can do the sorting the same as we did it in the simple report. You can do the same sorting. In the filter, we put the conditions, like what type of information we wanted to bring, what we wanted to do with that information, like lot of modifications and the criteria to extract the data or to filter the data. Then these three columns we looked into the uh, simple report, but there were no sub filters, right?
Uh,
The sub filter is only in the advanced reports.
Sorry. Can you repeat? So a search. So when the report type is a search, it does not have a self filter. Is that correct?
No, correct. Not in the search, neither in the simple reports.
In this, okay. So only the
Okay,
advanced report type has the sub filter.
right. So Kevin, you don't have to remember today. You just like I'm just starting with this overview, so that it would be just a overview for you. Like the first, what we are talking about when we are going to in tomorrow's class, I'm going to take it again from the first custom report advanced. Uh, the simple report I would not do it again because it's really simple. But I'll start with the advanced report again, and I will be discussing these columns with the data criterias again. So you don't need to be worried about it. Just remember the few things whichever you remember, and when we are doing it again, it will give you a more bigger picture.
Sounds
Okay,
good.
so sub filters are on this report, which is actually when you are trying to bring up the different functions or different areas, you use the sub filters. I will be going to explain it in more detail. Prompts. Remember that we do not do the hard coding every time. Like we have to bring the data from the 1st January 2021 to 15th January 2021. These criteria will be changing, right? You
Right.
always want business to extract the data where they are requiring it. So there are different prompts, so that allow you to run it on the runtime, and so that the business enter the information at runtime. We are going to discuss it more in detail. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Just a quick question.
Yes,
For
please.
prompt instruction, or do you know, is it by coding? Is it through JavaScript? Uh,
No, so everything is like here on the tick tick, like
I see. I see.
yeah,
Understood.
selectable items. Nothing, no coding required.
Understood.
Okay. Okay, then the output. Remember that when we look at the search report, there will be only it's a selectable table output. We did not able to select it. Whereas in the output, it can be a two type of outputs: table and chart, and both table, chart, and gauges. That like the more graphical and the table both. Of course, it depends on which type of reports we are making, what type of output we are assuming, but generally it has a both table and charts. So you don't need to do the programming for even developing the reports where you wanted to see that how many males, genders we are, or what type of age group those genders are. The graphs will be already there and we can make it there. Then this report will be shared with someone. Not You are not interested in just running the report by yourself. You were always looking for someone else to run this report, right? And those someone will be actually people who are authorized to run this report. So there is a sharing option to whom you want to share this report. Either you don't share with anyone, you share with authorized user, or you share with some specific group or users. Okay, so it's a security through which you can allow user to see this report. Of course, when these users are running it, they do not see every data. They do this data which they should see that. There are multiple level of security, but through which this report we can allow them to who can access this report. Okay, then in advance, we have a multiple information. Remember that I said that in advance we can enable it for the web services. We are going to discuss a bit about what are web services and how we can use. We can enable safe prompts like if there is a prompt, it will be saved. There will be a preferred currency, and there are like a freezing columns and all other things. And if we make a report temporary, when this should be deleted, like you don't want to keep all the reports in the system, you click on the deleted report and it will be deleted with the one special process or procedure. And any report which are with the temporary report which are with the deleted and data that date is here, the report would be deleted after this date automatically with that process.